What's going on?
You realize that it's your first career game winner.
Yeah, first one in the league.
That's pretty legitimate, man.
Appreciate that. It took me 9 years. I'm here.
He's arrived, man.
Yeah.
So you keep a game ball, anything like that? Is there a ceremony to it? Or?
I got the game ball. See what we do with it, but yeah, I mean, no, it just feels good, man. It was a good game, you know, start to finish, just to not only be a part of, but just to watch. That was a good basketball game.
Brad and I were talking with Coach, and even talking with you. There were so many individual performances from guys that makes it such a special win. Could you highlight maybe a couple of things you saw tonight that made this win special?
Yeah, I mean, you can go like literally top to bottom. I mean, Saddiq was unbelievable in the first quarter, then hit huge shots down the stretch. You know, obviously Cade was big down the stretch, and that from that like 5 to 1 minute mark of that fourth quarter, he was unbelievable. Isaiah Stewart was, you know, switching every ball screen and like keeping their best players and making it difficult on guards. You know what I mean? So that was unbelievable. Isaiah Livers came in, never played an NBA game before, you know, came in and played huge minutes for us. Killian was big time, you know, down the stretch guarding, you know, getting into actions, doing different stuff. Obviously, huge inbound pass at the end. Jeremy made huge shots. You know, it was a complete effort, and I think it was, you know, like down the line, everybody did, you know, their job, and you know, did it well and did it enough to, you know, to come up with a win. And you know, obviously sometimes it's, you know, not going to go your way, or it's going to, you know, bounce a different way. But I think that we stayed the course, you know, through the whole game. You know, they made runs. We didn't let them blow up. You know, kind of answered each time, and it was a good game top to bottom.
We've seen Rodney do it enough where he just comes off the bench and just starts hitting shots out of nowhere. But how difficult is that in that situation in overtime where you were hot, you sit for a bit, you have to come back in and try to find that rhythm again?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's no rhythm to find. There's 2 seconds left. But yeah, I mean, no, it's kind of one of those things where you just got to always be ready. Now, as cliche as that sounds, stay ready. You never know what's going to happen. Someone's going to foul out. Someone's going to, you know, a different matchup's going to come into the game or something. And, you know, you just got to stay ready. And, you know, obviously Rodney's done an unbelievable job at that, you know, this year. He's been unreal at, you know, sometimes he doesn't play for 3 or 4 games. Then he comes in and he's 4 for 4 from 3 the other night. And just, you know, doing all the little things. That's the sign of a, you know, ultimate professional. You know, things, you know, don't always go your way, or, you're not playing, or you sit for a little bit in a quarter, and, you know, you come in and you're, you know, right back in and ready to go, and, you know, always ready when your number's called. That's, you know, ultimate professional.
These past few games, it looks like things are starting to materialize the way that you wanted it to. Wayne said it's just you guys coming off of COVID and really starting to get into a rhythm yourselves. Do you see that with the close games and the wins that you've had in the past couple?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a really good job of, you know, being together and, you know, pulling rope in the same direction. You know, sometimes, you know, you have a young team and you're just everybody's trying to find their way and their niche and their roles, and it's a roller coaster. You know, it's tough. So sometimes, you know, you get to a point where things just start to click. And, you know, part of it's, you know, getting everybody healthy and getting everybody on the same page. But, you know, for us, it's, you know, just about being connected, you know, on both ends of the floor, defensively, offensively, you know, sharing the ball, moving the ball, playing for each other. And it's been good. You can see it in the last few games, and guys are, you know, we're starting the game well. We're coming in with the bench and, you know, adding to the game in whatever way we can. And then, you know, guys have been finishing the games well too.
Kelly, take us through that last shot. I mean, were you the first option on that play? Is that something you guys have worked on?
I mean, honestly, it was a really good play because we had what was it, like 7 seconds left. We ran a play from a timeout, and obviously they had no fouls. I told them they're going to foul. So just, you know, be ready. And obviously they fouled 2.5 seconds or whatever it was. And you know, obviously tip my hat and kudos to Coach Casey, because we run through these end of game plays over and over ad nauseum, almost to the point where like we have to run this again and this shoot around again. And we do. And obviously in that situation, we had a play in our pocket that we knew and we could run off. That honestly wasn't the play. It was a different play, but kind of just you have to read and react in this league, and saw an opening, and obviously Killian saw it as well, which is half the battle is you got to have both guys on the same page, and that goes back to that connection and that thing where we're kind of all pulling rope in the same direction. We're just on the same page, and that's part of it, and we was able to deliver. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Battle out there today, huh? What's I'm not sure how many lead changes there were. Pick one.
I didn't know who Mike is speaking to, so I'm sorry.
What can you say about this one? Just in light of the way this game went, opportunities at the end of the regulation would come back and get it.
It was good, man. It was a great performance. I think last game he put like 146 points on this. So I mean, obviously in OT, we got closer to that, but we just try to just lock in a little bit more defensively. They're a fast team. They play well in transition, so we just try to match their intensity, try to get back as much as possible, but just be resilient and they were hitting shots, tough shots. we were matching them, and it was a great NBA game. It was just fun to be a part of.
What's the play at the end of OT? What were you guys looking for out of the team?
We were just running one of our sets. It was 2 seconds left, so it was a lot of options that were there. But KO as a veteran made a great read, and he slipped out of the action, and Killian made a great pass, and he made a great shot. So I was excited for him.
What's that like for you when you see that? When you see a play like that unfold,
Right.
Again, it's only 2 seconds, whatever, you could take it.
Right.
But when you see that thing crawl in and kind of slow on, you got it.
Oh man, I was going to the offensive glass hard, man. I was just like, never know. But then I was just looking. I'm like, oh, that's good. He made it, and I was just surprised. I was excited, so it was just good to be a part of it.
Tied 112. At the end of regulation, Kate finds you in the corner. You hit a shot, which I've seen you do once before the season, at least one time, winning game. But what kind of goes through your mind in those moments? I know you're probably not thinking too much when it's like catch, shoot.
Right.
But when a play like that does happen and you got it.
Right. Though the intensity, goes up, especially at the end of the game, right? So you're not going to really get too many open shots, just in sets or not. So if with any daylight, you kind of have to be ready and to be able to be ready to shoot the ball. And he made a great pass, great find, and I was just blessed enough to knock it down.
So many contributions by the usual folks, you and Jeremy and Cade, but to get what you got from Killian, from Isaiah Livers, from
Right.
all of those other guys, it really was a team effort tonight.
Oh, great! Like I'm glad you said that. Shout out to Isaiah Livers, his first NBA points, and it was just great for him to be a part of that intense game like that. And he did a great job stepping in, and Killian at the end, like you said, he was playing well for us all game, and this showed his leadership, being able to be poised and make the right play at the end of the game, hit the right player, and just down the line, man, from everyone who played, everyone contributed in some way, whether that was on the offensive end, defensive end, on the bench, giving us energy. So it was a great team effort.
And what does it say for Killian, especially
Right.
to be able to finish the game? He's been trying to find that consistency too.
Right.
But coach's decision just to let him finish that game, is that more of a hat tip to his defensive presence or just trying to give him some confidence too?
I think both, man. He's a very good defender, and he has a lot of size. But he's also a point guard. And I think no matter what goes on, throughout the season, he's still a point guard, and so he's great at finding the right guys. So it's just good to see him continue to do that and continue to be aggressive.
We'll go to Zoom. One question from James Edwards.
Hey, Saddiq, last time you guys beat Charlotte, Dwayne wasn't even the coach yet. Did he make that? Has that been made aware to you guys how long the streak has been since you guys last beat them?
Not at all. I think, the only thing we looked at was they had like 150 points on this last game. So that's the only motivation we needed.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Saddiq.
Thank you. Coach Saddiq was just in here and he said he was made aware that it's been a while since the Pistons have beaten Charlotte. Actually goes back to 2017. He said we didn't necessarily know that.
Was I here in 2017?
No, I'm just saying 15 straight. He said the only motivation we needed was what they did to us last night. How proud of you from start to finish are what you saw tonight?
Johnny, I was really proud of our guys. Another step of growth. 20 lead changes throughout the game, and for us to stay resilient. I think we got down 5 in overtime, and a month ago we'd have probably hung our head and hung our coat right at the end of regulation, but we stayed together, stuck together. I really like the combination of Grant and also Bey on the court together. That's been a project for us to make sure those guys are interchangeable, and really love the way Kelly came in and finally found his stroke. He's back, and he and Jeremy both got their shooting touch back. But then the stops we got down the stretch were huge for us.
How tough is it for you? Obviously, insert Kelly in there for the opportunity toward the end, but he went sat for a while. He got hot, sat a little bit, and then comes in, hits a big shot tonight. He's obviously Saddiq Bey, but that's not easy.
He said that was his first NBA game winner, so that was exciting to see. But also too, another game ball goes to 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋 to see the second option. First option, they did a good job of what we call ringing the line situation, and then they got to give you something, and that's when Kelly popped out, and Killian didn't panic after Saddiq wasn't open, and he found the second option. So his patience, his poise in that situation was huge.
Another player today, talk about Kelly getting his first NBA game winner. How about a guy like Isaiah Livers who gets an opportunity? You said you wanted to take a look at him down the stretch, didn't know when those opportunities would come.
I love it. I think Isaiah's going to be a player. He's a shooter, and you can't get enough of those guys that come out and stretch the floor. I like his size. He's smart. So he has the whole package. And again, he's not a finished product. He's still, I think, finding his way coming back from his surgery. So his future is going to be bright with us. A good addition to our group.
That's one for me. Cade, I know we talked about it. You talked about it. He got another couple early fouls today. He rolled the dice for a little bit, but he got a shot. Only had 7 points through 3 quarters, but then he stayed with us. We keep using the growth word.
No question. And that for him, he's got to learn. They're going at him. They're getting the switches they want. They're getting in positions, but he's got to be smart. And I thought he did a better job after he got his third foul tonight of playing with his hands back and not having that last smackdown. And that's where he's getting it. He's just got to play with his hands back. I'm sure there's a playbook out on him now around the league. And but again, he'll learn. He's a smart kid. And he got us really going down in the fourth quarter. He and Jeremy carried us on down and gave us an opportunity to win.
Well, this really seemed to be a game where a lot of different guys had their moments. Livers had a couple of threes. Kelly obviously had his streaks. Hamidou, the other guys, it's the usual suspects, but the team approach and the team win, that there were so many guys that had pieces to this that contributed to this win. It has to be hard.
No question. And that was really, makes you feel good to see guys coming together. We're not a finished product at all. They still shot 50, what they shoot 50% from the field. And so there's a lot of things we can do better defensively, a lot of things we can do better offensively, whether it's spacing, making sure we make the right reads. And so that's what's encouraging them, right? Is seeing so many people contribute in different ways. 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋 contributed, but didn't score. How many points? He gets 6 points. Mm-hmm. And so, he contributed in so many ways to help us win other than scoring.
And the decision, what went into the decision to finish with 𝐒𝐿 and finish regulation?
Well, I thought he was doing a better job. Defensively on Rozier. Nobody was really stopping, but I thought he was using his physicality of slowing him down on slip outs, his size on him in one-on-one situation. And then too, he gives another ball handler in there and a reader in there, in that situation. And just like the way he was engaged and involved, and is one of his consistent nights. And so we got to keep that going in the right direction and build another game off of that.
Go to Zoom. Go ahead, Omari.
Hey, Dwayne, this was the third win in 4 tries for the Pistons. And we talked about health so often this season, but just to see Jeremy and Kelly step up with those players in the fourth quarter, just as a coach, it's got to feel good to have your vets not only here, but to see them performing at this level.
It is, and again, that's what they're here for. Oh, they have to help the young players, and they've been hurt and COVID and all that stuff. So we got to have them to be competitive. They have to step up, and they did tonight in a big way. But that makes us all feel good to see them come and do what we know that they're capable of doing. And they hadn't played well in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And since they came back from COVID, and it just seems like they're getting their rhythm back and getting their game conditioning back to be able to contribute. And it's great to see.
And then go to James.
Dwayne, Isaiah Stewart, similarly to Cade, was in a bit of foul trouble. And for him, I think he had 4 at the start of the 4th, and he closed the game, had some big contests at the rim.
I thought he had 5. Did he have 5 or 4?
He might have had 5 even early in the 4th.
Yeah.
But for him to have what you guys needed for him defensively at the rim and to go that whole stretch without picking up that 6, that's probably not something he would have been able to do even a few months ago either.
No question. Just the sense of the moment, James, that he had of not fouling. He created a couple of highways for guys to get to the rim and finish. I know he had one for Jeremy, one for Cade, and that's not on the stat sheet. So he did a lot of little things to help us be able to score, and a lot of things are taking up space and rebounding on the other end, on the defensive end.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys. All right, thank you, guys. Okay, see y'all tomorrow.